Okay, so we went over everything 49ers offense related, sans rookies. Gonna go over Ricky Pearsall and Jacob Cowing a lot in this video here. So what I saw from Ricky Pearsall is winning on time, winning within the structure of the offense, and that is a good sign. So if you're just looking at the box score, you might think that he had an off game, but just look at this route again. Here he is in the slot, facing press coverage. You have to win inside, and right away on an in-breaking route, he wins inside. That is good. So he stacks vertical. That's a win. Wide receiver plays on time. Quarterback plays on time. It's a good sign moving forward, especially for the first target in a live game. But here, from the end zone angle, you can see Spags just doing what Spags does. He's dictating and manipulating the 49ers. Big, big, big. By putting a big on the center, you force the center to block. You cannot hide. And it just comes down to winning your one-on-one. So it's one-on-one across the board. Again, they do some funky stuff. Here's a coffee house pass rush where he acts like he's not going to get you to look somewhere else and then does blitz. But it ends up just being Brenda losing one-on-one, and that's how the quarterback gets hit as he's thrown. And that's how you have an air mail for a pass. But if you're thinking of terms of Pearsall winning on time, check. If you're thinking of Brock, back foot hits, ball's coming out as he's looking to his left. Knows where he wants to go to clear out the middle of the field, but he gets hit. But the process is there, and that's what really matters. All right, it's 14-12. Niners have a chance. Got the ball back, third quarter, and first down, you're going to take a shot down the field. You have Ronnie Bell, you have Ricky Pearsall, you have Jacob Cowing. That's who the 49ers wide receivers are as they take the field. Think about me telling you that a week ago. Hey, Kyle Shanahan, you're going to take the field. You're going to have a chance to beat the Chiefs, but you have to do it with 2 rookies and a 7th rounder. No, you don't have Juwan Jennings. No, you don't have Deebo Samuel. No, you don't have Brandon Ayuk. But I love the mindset here. I love the fact that Kyle Shanahan remains aggressive. You know, when that wide receiver goes in motion, he's trying to occupy one of the second-level defenders here. He does the safety, I believe it is. So what that means is one of the wide receivers are going to have to win. As you can see, that does not happen. This is just a play-action shot fail, but it ends up being a good learning point for the rookies. So he has to win inside. There's Pearsall. He does, but he's trying to avoid contact so much that he kind of stems too far and stems right into the safety. What that safety is doing is he's supposed to be guarding Kittle, but because Kittle's blocking, he finds a way to make himself useful. And what does he do? Gives Pearsall a nice shoulder. So he's rerouted. His route's over. And if we go back to the top here with Cowing, if you remember in the other video, Ayuk had to win through contact. Kittle had to win through contact. And that's because they are doing a tremendous job of making you fight through them. So he's squatting. He's making sure, hey, you have to go inside if you're going to win. Kittle did not win. Ayuk did win. And here Cowing does not win. So 1 for 3 on these Chiefs squatting on the outbreaking routes. Love the idea of the play action shot, but the execution on the back end from the wide receivers was not there, and it does not help when your quarterback has to move off his spot right away because the right tackle was beat. So a couple issues on this play, but another good learning curve for the rookies to understand, hey, like this is a physical game, and you're not going to be able to run freely like you were in college. So Pearsall and Cowing, they're going to have to grow up quick, and I think they did in this game. Okay, so on Pearsall's first reception, he's catching an underneath route. I think on this play, it highlights that he does have the ability to be a vertical threat. Here he is to the bottom of the screen. It's another shot play, right? It's another max protect where the 49ers are trying to create these long developing routes, which means you have to protect. Right away, you see him chew up the grass, chew up the space between him and the cornerback. If you can step on his toes is what we say. So if you can step on the DB's toes, you're going to win a lot of your routes. Look at this. Like he has already closed the gap to the point where he is almost literally stepping on his toes and just runs right by the DB. So again, I think it is very important to isolate these plays and focus on what you are watching. We are watching the wide receiver trying to beat the DB. He does that to a T. Runs right by him. In a dream world, quarterback is not affected by the pressure. The line does exactly what they're supposed to do, and Purdy is able to hit Ricky Pearsall on that long developing route. So, didn't work, and this is why. So again, max protect shouldn't have it shouldn't prevent you from having these. But the 49ers, again, their only breakdowns in this game were when they had max protection, were when they had extra blockers, which, very tough to swallow. But in this instance, they are good players too on the other side of the ball. So that's Chris Jones, and that's Aaron Banks trying to block Chris Jones. And as you can see, that does not happen at all, which causes the quarterback to move off the spot. But what I'd like to see here is Garindo basically just forfeit this fake, right? Abort the fake. I know that, hey, I can feel this player winning, so I'm just going to throw my body into him. And ideally, if that happens, Purdy is able to plant his feet and throw this over the ball route, which comes open right in his face. You can see, like, there's no beat by him, or like he can hit Pearsall, but because he has to step up and he's affected by multiple players, he just drops his eyes, takes the completion, that's fine, that's great, but ideally not bothered by pressure, and he can set his feet and throw it down the field. But fortunate to hang on to the ball there. Running back needs to hang on to the ball. Going to complain about a profit, right? They're able to thankfully secure the ball there, but able to manufacture a play, and I think that's kudos to Purdy for not panicking and taking a sack and dropping his eyes, keeping his eyes, quote unquote, down the field. But it would be nice to hit on some of these max plays because they're there. Pearsall was wide open. Kittle is wide open, but the line doesn't allow Purdy to go there. Okay, so we have Pearsall and Kittle to the bottom of the screen here. The route combination is going to be, so Pearsall is going to run a curl, and then Kittle's going to run off that and run a quick out route. Like if I'm thinking in terms of Purdy, 1, 2, 3, ball's coming out to the wide open wide receiver right here. Like they run a lot of these rub routes. Did all day because when you know you're going to face man coverage, that's what you want to do. So just take that right there. If it's going to be a curl route, though, and if you know, like this is where predetermining comes back to bite Purdy, if you know that you want to run a curl, if you're Pearsall, you have to release inside. Basically, any route that involves you turning back inside to the quarterback, you have to win inside right away, which he doesn't here. And I'm not sure if that's because of that little rub we talked about, but if he wins inside this way, what happens is, let's act like he's on the inside of him. Once he turns inside, like he has a lot of room to throw. Here, Purdy doesn't really have any opportunity to get the ball to Pearsall. He gets hemmed up in his route, and the play's kind of dead. So just the different aspects of this game in every play. Like you can find about 3 or 4 different things. Like, hey, throw the ball to Kittle. Don't have to worry about it. Hey, Pearsall, win inside. Give your quarterback a chance to put the ball somewhere. So there are two aspects on this play where you'd like to be, that are just coachable. Okay, let's talk about the other rookie now. So Pearsall is going to be involved heavily on a lot of these plays because he was a very good blocker, and they trust him to block. So that's going to be a big part of his game moving forward. But if we look to the bottom of the screen, and this is just a stretch play to the left, 49ers, they can RPO this, right? They can fake and act like that's a pass. Like they're both running routes. If we watch Cowing to the bottom, who has jetpacks in his legs, like this guy can really go. He can run. He is a very explosive player. Watch this release. So right away, look at that type of separation. You go from press coverage to I'm going another way. He is spinning out. And then by the time the quote-unquote alleged ball would be there, look at that separation. So the type of explosiveness that Cowing has, 49ers have got to take advantage of that. And I think they understood that because somebody in the press box said, hey, the cornerback who's guarding 19 cannot guard him. So the 49ers took advantage of that on the very next play. Okay, so earlier I showed you Pearsall running into contact. He's going to run a post here, so just fast forward here. Saubert's going to run a post. He's going to have the deep post. And watch Pearsall avoid contact this time, right? So like he's learning as the game goes on. He could easily get rerouted there, but avoids the real guy. Down here is Cowing running the curl pump. So this is the explosive play that they had. He's going to sell like he's running a curl right there. Breaks down. And again, when you can close the gap on these cornerbacks like both of them have, when you're even, you are leaving. And this is a touchdown. Like, look at that separation right there. Like, this should be a layup touchdown. But unfortunately, he has to slow down for the ball. Purdy, not used to throwing the ball to Cowing, obviously. He just has to uncork, throw it out there. He is going to run under it. Unfortunately, 49ers weren't able to score a touchdown on this play, Like, this is a throw that Purdy definitely wants back. This is a throw that he needs to execute if he's going to be talked about like a top 10 or even top 5 some think. I mean, as far as contract goes next year, if he's going to be that guy, these are the throws that he needs to make in his sleep. So some people are under the impression that Purdy doesn't have a pocket to make these throws, and like he didn't have that. Look at this. This couldn't be a cleaner pocket. His feet are set. Like, there's a gap in between Pony and Brock's cleats. All he needs to do is uncork his hips right here, and he does, but ball's underthrown. The real story on this play is Cowing's separation. I thought it was really cool to see. You see on the sideline here, Purdy and McCaffrey go celebrate with their boys. So here's McCaffrey. Here's Debo running. He's running in the white. Like, not allowed to do this. Could easily get flagged. But I think he's just so caught up in the moment, celebrating for a rookie. Love seeing that. I always love seeing teammates cheer for their teammates. So really cool to see. All right, so now Pearsall's in the slot. Man coverage. Gives him a little hezzy, gives him a head fake, and easy pitch and catch, right? Like, that separation is what you want. Like, this is what the 49ers are going to need from him. And it seems like you're asking a lot from a first rounder, but like, injuries kind of force the 49ers' hand. Look at the field right now. Ronnie Bell, Chris Conley. Conley is hurt. He might not even play. Don't want to trust the 7th rounder at this point. He's giving you no reason to trust him. So, hey, Pearsall, man, it's going to be all you, especially if Debo is banged up. So these are the routes that they're going to have to feed on. It's a first down. And if you watch the quarterback, right, it's always about playing on time. 1, 2, 3, ball's out. Ball's coming out as he's making his break. That's what you want. Gives him an opportunity to turn up the field. And these type of plays are going to allow the 49ers offense to stay ahead of schedule. And that's when you can open up your offense and run everything in the playbook when it comes to like 2nd and short or 3rd and short. Okay, another one of those little rub routes that the 49ers are going to do here. There's Kittle. Here's Pearsall. When you get man coverage, you want to create friction. And that's exactly what happens here. Kittle does a good job timing it up well. So does Pearsall off the in-breaking route. And then you see the separation, right? The explosion. He's running away. There's space. There's gaps in between those two. Unfortunately, because there's a breakdown in pass protection, Purdy's not able to get it to Pearsall. Okay, so what goes wrong here? Another good job by Spags manipulating the 49ers protection. Big on big, always, always, always. So you got big here, big here. You got 2 linebackers mugged up, and then you have big here. So what's going to happen is the line is going to all slide to their left. He's going to be responsible for him. Everybody else slides to their left in pass protection. When you slide to your left, the running back has to go to the opposite. But because it's a full slide and because you have an inexperienced running back, again, this is the first time these guys are getting a lot of extended action, and not just as ball carriers, but in pass pro too. So he's unfamiliar with this, right? So he's thinking, Mason is thinking, all right, I'm going to run a route. That's not what they needed here. So when it's a full slide like that, the running back has to stay in. Watch Puni. He's expecting, the way he's blocking, he's expecting, like, he's not even looking at him. He's expecting help. Go block him. And he's looking for this linebacker to come. So Puni does a great job. He does what he's supposed to. But because the slide's not there, it turns into a near disaster. But your quarterback is an athlete, and he's able to spin out and turn something into nothing. But in an ideal world, right, like, that's not what you want. You want Purdy to be able to get to the top of his drop and throw it to Pearsall, and Pearsall run after the catch, and you just keep it moving, right? You stay ahead of the chains. But the process isn't good here because there's a breakdown. He's open right now. Like, if this person was blocked and accounted for, you could throw it here. He gets a chance to run after the catch, and his box score would look a lot different. But unfortunately, that was not the case. Okay, so that'll do it for me. I just wanted to show Cowing. I want to show Pearsall. Here in the red zone, they're going to have to play through a lot of physicality. It's going to be a lot different than what they're used to playing through in college the past few years. There's no doubt it's going to be a quote-unquote step up in class. At the same time, the 49ers are not going to face the Chiefs. They're not going to go against Spags. They're probably going to see a lot different coverage moving forward. I am fascinated to see what Shanahan does as far as the routes he asked Cowing to do, how often Cowing's used, what he's going to do for Pearsall. Is Pearsall going to be more like a Cooper Kupp, or is he going to be a guy who's going to be catching passes down the field? Because we saw in this game, just because he didn't get the ball doesn't mean he was not open. There were tons of examples of both players being open. So I don't think it's all doom and gloom. I don't think the sky's falling. I think the 49ers, obviously they're going to lose a very key player of their offense in Brandon Ayuk. But I don't think it's going to be one of those like, hey, if they don't score 13 or 14 points, they're going to lose. Not at all. They have a very good play caller. They still have a very good run game. Kittle's around. Juwan Jennings is going to be back. Ideally, Deebo Samuel gets healthy. It might take another bye week or after the bye week for that to be a thing. Christian McCaffrey is going to return. And then you also have the kids growing up, right? So Cowing's going to be involved. Pearsall is going to be involved. I don't think the drop-off is going to be like this 7 to 10 points like some think it is. I think the 49ers will be just fine. That does put a lot on the rookie's plate, but couldn't have asked for a better test, right? You're going to go against Spags. You're going against some physical DBs who are going to play man, who are going to be in your face a lot. So if anything, it was a great landing spot for the rookies, and now they know what to expect in the NFL. So thanks everybody for watching. I wanted to get these routes out there to show you that, hey, like Pearsall is a good player. Like he was getting open. Cowing, a good player. Like there are ways for those people, those wide receivers to be schemed open, but they can also win within the structure of the offense, which is important, and that's what you want moving forward. So again, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, let me know if there's anything else, but that is more than enough offense for 1 week.